I'm sitting on the floor right now, and this room smells like cat shit. Let's do this. So I found this YouTuber recently. Their name is Iris Olympia. Check them out. I've linked them below. And they did this video that was like gender affirming things, and I want to do that. So that's what this video is. Basically, I'm just going to go through some things that I have done or do that are really gender affirming for me as a non-binary gender fluid person. So yeah. So the first thing that I have done that felt really gender affirming for me was piercing my septum. The thing about piercing my septum was I got a little backlash from my family. They were like, oh no, that looks terrible, it's awful, it makes you look like a cow. And I kind of vibe with that. Like, I'm a Taurus and I really like the way it looks. I've always found it attractive on other people, and I figured it looked good on me. It sort of makes me feel androgynous in a way, like it's not something that is traditionally masculine or feminine. There are some really cool rockin' individuals on TikTok with a septum ring, so now I'm one of them. Another thing that has been really affirming for me has been wearing a lot of rings. There's something about the way my hands look when I'm wearing many rings that makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. A certain amount of rings makes my hands feel delicate and feminine, and another amount of rings makes my hands feel strong. Another thing that makes me feel a little bit more like myself is wearing my hair in a low ponytail. This is something that I've discovered recently that I like doing. Currently, with my hair the way it is, it's short on the sides and back and then long on the top, and when I wear it in a low ponytail, it makes me feel sort of like a prince. And you can see the short hair, and if you like see my profile, then there's a little bit of poof popping out. Two things that also affirm my gender for me are playing the guitar and playing the ukulele, and they do this differently. When I'm playing my guitar, I feel so small. Like, the guitar is kind of big for me, and it's kind of hefty to get around, and so it makes me feel tiny, and that's nice for me. Makes me feel like a little boy, just like a little guy. But when I play the ukulele, I just sort of feel like the queer vibe. Like, I don't ever feel uncomfortable if I have a ukulele in my hand. The insecurity just goes away because it's like, that's the vibe. The ukulele is the vibe. There's no insecurity to be had. On a similar note to playing the ukulele, wearing a drug rug sort of gives me that same gender neutral confirmation. They just have that comfy, cozy, not form-fitting look, and it makes me feel like it takes the attention away from my figure and puts it more on just how comfy I look, I guess. Something that is just part of me that has always been this way is how thick my eyebrows are, and I've always enjoyed that. It has always made me feel a little bit less feminine because they're so bodacious, and so I like to emphasize how thick they are and comb them in such a way. I enjoy like shooshing in the middle bits a little to add a little bit more depth. And lastly, there is something about wearing these circle-shaped glasses that makes me feel like John Lennon or some other musician, and I just don't feel gendered in them. There's something about the look with this length hair and these glasses that makes me feel less like a boy or a girl and more just like an entity, a being, a vibe. The thing about my gender is I don't want to be perceived as a boy or a girl all the time. Sometimes I just want to be perceived as a person. person. Other times I would like to be perceived as a little guy, or as this woman, but not all the time. That's the fluidity, baby. So that's pretty much all I had to say in this video. That's it.